Got to talk about Portland being basically taken over by Antifa and to a lesser extent, Black Lives Matter. Now, I do have video of this particular situation, but before I get into the video, I need to kind of tee it up for you so you understand what's going on. Now, Sunday, September 30th of this year, right around 3 a.m., a fight breaks out in this particular area, which is Southwest 4th and Harvey Milk. If you're from Portland, I guess you understand where that is. But a fight breaks out. There's gunshots. A guy is running away from the scene and towards the police with a gun in his hand. The police are telling him, drop the weapon, drop the weapon. He does not drop the weapon. So the police shoot him and he dies later in the hospital. The guy was running from a scene where the fight broke out and where the shooting was, where two other people were shot. They did not die. But the prevailing thought is that this guy, Patrick Kimmons, who this protest is for, was the one that shot those two other people. So there you have it. People are upset about it. I guess they're saying that the police shouldn't have killed him, even though he probably shot those two other people, even though he is a prior convicted felon, even though he had a gun in his hand, even though the police told him to drop the weapon. He did not drop the weapon, but I digress for now. What I'm going to do is go ahead and roll the clip. After we get done with the clip, I'll talk about what happened there, and then I'll give you my 2 cents about Antifa, Black Lives Matter, everything else, and wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Oh, can I? Well, shut the fuck up, Sergeant Guard Trip, dumb bitch.
Just go that way. Because I told you to.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Don't hurt
Yeah,
me.
brother.
Just go.
Yeah, you little white little fucker.
Really?
No.
Yeah. You're a fucking little whitey, aren't you? The First Amendment, get the fuck down the road.
Please just keep going the direction.
Just please turn right,
Please
for
go
Christ's
the
sake.
direction I asked
For
you to
Jesus
go.
Christ's sake, let's turn
Please,
right.
you're
Well, yeah.
blocking traffic and they're getting pissed
Oh, we're
at
blocking
you.
traffic.
You can turn. You can just turn. Just go. Just
Are
go.
we the ones blocking
Just
traffic?
turn, please. Please just
Now
keep
you're gonna have to
going.
wait, 'cause he's got cars coming.
Oh.
What are we doing here? Oh, you're from South Carolina. You are a little white supremacist. North Carolina, huh?
Right.
I'm a white supremacist because I'm white. Are you kidding me?
Go back to North Carolina where you came from. We don't need your KKK in Portland, Oregon.
You can go where-
KKK from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Hey, someone shut the fuck up so I can speak. I got traffic. I got traffic.
Ask me if I give a fuck. I was talking to him, not you. Thank you very much.
But I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of the intersection. And if I can have someone come.
Someone get my backpack.
If I can have someone come, that would be great. Well, I can't. Well, they're blocking traffic.
Patrick Kimmons! Patrick Kimmons! Patrick Kimmons! Fucking dumbass! I dare you to hit me right now. I'll beat the shit out of you. I'll beat the shit out of you with him. Fuck him.
Whoa,
Watch out. Whoa.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Dumbass!
Whoa.
Slow down. There's no reason to.
You're lucky you didn't hit me. I would have beat your ass.
Don't engage.
I guarantee you that.
Look, you don't pay my bills. Shut the fuck up.
Don't engage. Don't engage.
No, he needs to stay. He has to
Get his license plate.
All right, so you see what's going on there. You see what's happening. Now, there's a lot of things that are going on in this clip. Let's jump to the elephant in the room. At least it's the elephant in the room to me. Where are the police? You saw the man in the vehicle calling the police saying, hey, I'm at this intersection. I'm trying to go forward. They're not letting me. What's going on? I need somebody to come out here. And then you saw the camera zoom in on the police. They were right there. The guy was right there by his bike and was just standing to the side. I think the mayor, I can't really confirm this, but this is just my thought. I think the mayor told them to stand down and just to watch, to not really intervene. This is a particular pattern that happens because at the hospital where Patrick Kimmons was dying, his family came there and was causing an extreme ruckus. They were throwing chairs. They were acting a plumb fool. The police did not intervene. The mother thanked the police for not intervening, despite the family being very emotional, this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, they're turning up the whole hospital and the police are doing nothing. All right. So I don't necessarily blame the police. I think they're acting on orders. I mean, if you're being ordered to stand down, what are you really going to do? You have no choice but to stand down. But for now, I digress. I'm going to get back to the whole situation here. The police were sorely needed. Antifa was directing traffic. I've never seen anything like that in my life. These people are not crossing guards. These people are not police officers. They're just random people wearing their black, just trying to incite violence. And people can say, oh, they're not really inciting violence. They're just protecting themselves. I mean, from who? There's nobody out there harassing them or doing anything to them. And the local reporting on it has been shameful. And I'll place some articles from the local news in Portland in the description box so you're able to read it for yourself. They're talking about, oh, one person did get rammed by a car. No, they didn't. They were landing on top of the hood. It didn't get rammed because it was this old man just trying to get to destination. I don't know where he was going, but you got to think, if you're in downtown and you're blocking off what could possibly be a major street, you're going to really inconvenience people to the point where they're not getting to a very important place in an expedient fashion. And how are you going to be out there directing traffic if you're not a police officer or some kind of guard that has that authority to do so? But then again, you're talking about Portland where the police are told to stand down. So maybe in a way they do have authority because nobody is challenging their authority. The police are right there. So if the police aren't jumping in, then that means that you have mob rule happening. This ain't even the first time for Portland. There was a situation in the summer where they were on this whole abolish ICE kick, and they were blocking off the entrance to ICE with human beings laying on the ground. They said it was like 200 people or up to 200 people in the pseudo encampment right there. And of course, you're dealing with the left coast. You're dealing with a liberal, extremely liberal city. You know it's going to be drugs. They're talking about they had to bring in a hazmat team to clean up their mess. And that's always hilarious. You have these environmentalists, these tree hugger liberals, so they say they're tree hugging, that leave the biggest message you ever could imagine. After all these protests, there's all kind of signs on the ground, all kind of human waste, use hypodermic needles. You know, people got HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, all that. Okay. Disgusting people that tell you that you're the problem. All right. I'm not the one out there defecating on the ground or banging needles in the middle of the street to so-called protest ICE. And why are you protesting ICE anyway? These people that come into the country illegally that commit crime, are they going to do anything to help you in your life? All they're going to do is make your life that much more difficult. But I'll move on away from that particular subject. I'm getting a little bit triggered. Let's get back to Patrick Kimmons. Now, this guy had a rap sheet, had been locked up before on a weapons charge, a gun charge. I mean, this is not somebody that you would look to as a role model or a choir boy. And he also got services from the city's program called GIFT. It's an acronym for Gang Impacted Family Team. So they're trying to break the tie, the generational ties between individuals and gangs. They're trying to really just, I guess, liberate the community from the gang culture. Obviously, it really didn't work in this particular case. It's unfortunate the man died. He had a girlfriend with 2 kids, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. But this guy was up to no good. I mean, come on, 3 o'clock in the morning, you out there fighting, guns are brandished, gunshots are heard, you're shooting, you're running with a gun in your hand. I mean, come on. What are you doing out there with a gun in your hand at 3 o'clock in the morning, leaving the scene where there's gunshots at if you are so-called turning your life around? You know, that's the main thing people talking about. His family saying, oh, he's turning his life around. Well, I can't really tell. If you're out there at 3 a.m., it was probably a drug deal gone bad or a robbery or something like that. That's what happened. There's no reason for him to be out there in that situation. And people that are out there protesting, what are you really protesting? And what's up with all these people that are white that hate white people? This guy's out there talking about, oh, you must be a whitey. Go back to South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever you come from. It's like, you're white. So how are you going to, call this man out for being white? Y'all both white. Y'all are the same. You're probably related. So I really don't get it. This is the mental illness that the left has bestowed upon America. Here we are. These people out there, your Antifa, your Black Lives Matter, the more you want to support your gangbangers, the more you want to support the violent people in the community, you're going to get a negative result. You're going to get more people on our side, or at least away from you. They're going to go to the center left, center right. They're going to be more libertarian, more moderate, because they're not really with all that stuff out there, blocking cars, hitting cars, spitting on people, outside living in squalor and filth, banging needles. The average individual does not want to live that way, especially not here in the USA. People that come from other countries look at San Francisco and see the streets and say, this is disgusting. I come from a third world country. This is worse than that. Nobody wants to live that way. So that's pretty much all I got. So what say you? Do you think that Antifa has taken over Portland? Like I said, this ain't the first time this has happened. This is kind of a recurring theme at this point. Who's to blame for it? Where are the police? Who's telling the police to stand down? Is it the chief? Is it the mayor? Is it the governor? What's going on here? Why is there no rule of law in these streets? Why is it that Antifa can block off this intersection where the police shooting happened and just do whatever they want, direct traffic and stuff like that, with the blessing of whoever is in charge, the mayor, police, governor, or whoever? Do you think that this can be turned around? Do you think that this does what I say, which is to bring more individuals away from their side and towards our side? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below.